Hunter Wilds has 1 million concurrent Steam players. Good lord.
Dude, so crazy. Like, I knew this game was gonna be like the Monster Hunters coming out party of like, okay, World was a massive success over time. This is gonna be the one that launches crazy and is just doing insane numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I was so right, dude. It did better numbers yesterday than every game on Steam that wasn't Counter-Strike.
That's
And
ridiculous.
it's still doing better numbers than every game on Steam besides Counter-Strike.
It's gone pretty nuts. Yeah, I think it's expected just because so many people got into Worlds like over time and became fans of Monster Hunter. And Rise just didn't really have the juice because it was on Switch first. And this was, it was like it's coming out again, and everyone was like, I'm not like experiencing the first version of this. If I really wanted it, I would have got it on Switch. And so I feel like Rise kind of like it didn't do bad. Obviously didn't do bad.
Yeah.
230,000, I think it was, concurrence that it hit peak. Like that's great. But it's no 1 million, and this being essentially World 2 and being totally new and coming to the platforms and the crossplay, incentivizing people who are like, oh, I can get it on PC instead of PlayStation because all my friends are on PlayStation. But I'm fine to have it on PC because I can still play with them. I think everything just perfect storm for this to go absolutely bananas on PC, just like the Conkalala would have wanted.
Yes.
Very true.
The pink diarrhea hippo gorilla.
We call him a brap monster. He's a brap lord.
What okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? It's one of the most played games on consoles as well right now.
Yep.
I know that's not shocking anybody. Yeah, no, it does holy shit. That said, it also has big PC issues.
Oh boy.
It does have big PC issues, which is funny given how successful it is on PC.
Yep.
I mean, I want to say this is an engine thing. I think that this game, just like all other Capcom games, uses the RE engine.
Yep.
And because of that, that engine has been amazing. But for some reason, it's heavily CPU bound in open worlds. And that means if you do not have just a beastly CPU, then it's going to struggle playing games like Monster Hunter Wilds or Dragon's Dogma 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which Dragon's Dogma 2 had the same issue on PC, which is, hey, it launched with massive problems and CPU bottlenecks. And it did get fixed eventually. Everyone, people told me, hey, the tech issues on Dragon's Dogma on PC eventually got fixed. But that was about 5 to 6 months later. So,
right.
Yeah.
This is not good. They had 2 betas. Or 2 betas? 3 betas?
3 betas.
Yeah.
3 betas.
I think it was 1 closed, 2 open.
Yes. And
yeah.
Wasn't enough, I guess.
I think that those were. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Duncan.
Okay. Well, I was going to say my problems with this game are not related to its PC performance. I have so many problems with this game. I think it has earned that mixed reviews. And it sucks because it's also so fun to hunt the monsters.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I yesterday ended up being just like, we ran into the problem of playing the story. Like, it almost feels like the game doesn't want you to play the story together.
No,
like, that's really what it feels like. It really, really does, because if you're doing any of the stories co-op, it's horrible, awful. It's just the worst. And then on top of that, like, if you're doing it with more than one person, almost any monster becomes trivial. And if you're doing it with 4 people, I feel bad
my
at that
God.
point.
You're
You
barely
just
fighting. You're like not fighting the monster. When you get in a fight with 4 people, it's literally just you walk up and it's just like it's the noise, it's the like constantly playing everywhere, and then wounds just popping up and then exploding and then popping up again and exploding, and the monster gets up and then falls over and gets up. They don't even get to like run to another location like half the time. It's insane to play that game with 4 people. It's like such a degree of overkill. It's baffling.
Yeah, like it's and you've told me post game is similar.
Yeah, so as the only one of us who has made it to post game, I'll say that post game has not been hard. I think there's an evident step up in difficulty in the post game. I mean, the very first mission is the only mission I ever failed. The first mission in post game. That's because I killed them instead of capturing them, which they introduced when you're in post game that you have to start capturing some monsters. And it's they also do fix the multiplayer issues to some extent once you finally hit post game. Because in post game, the way that you start missions is different. You start them from your quest menu, speaking to Alma, your quest lady, or
Mhm.
you start them by just finding the monster in the wild, and it'll start a quest for the monster. Which is why in the campaign, the entire system for joining someone is that a pop-up will appear when they start fighting the monster going, "You've been invited to this," if as long as you're in the same group. The reason that is clearly because the post game is actually designed around that, where you're in a lobby with a bunch of people, and then one of you runs into a monster you all want to fight, and then they go, "Oh, guys, I'm gonna pull up a quest for this because I found this guy," and then everybody just hops in.
Yep.
That being said, it ruins the campaign experience in any degree of multiplayer.
Yeah, it was very funny. They were like, "Hey, this is ideally experienced in single player," and you're thinking like, "Oh, it's just like how they want you to experience it." It's like, no, we designed the co-op experience to be dog shit, so maybe don't
Not
do
to mention
that.
their server instability that
Right.
they are clearly having problems with, probably on account of the gigantic player numbers. But I have DC'd from 50% of games I have joined.
Man.
I'm an SOS Flare warrior, and I'm on console, by the way. I'm on PS5 Pro. I like just going and helping people on SOS flares even if I don't need anything. It's fun for me. And I legitimately cannot connect to a bunch of SOS flares. Now it might just be, hey, a bunch of people are also signing up for the SOS flare. Right. That is a reality, and maybe it's just not hitting me. But it still sucks that like I'll click on unable to join session, do another SOS, unable to join session, unable to join session. And like what I have found works the best is going to the bottom of the list of whatever tier of hunt I'm doing and joining the SOS flare that way.
What I have found is that anytime I get any kind of session failure in any way, the only way to make it stop is for me to completely shut down the game and launch it again.
That might be a PC issue.
Yeah,
that one might be a
that's what
PC
I've been
issue.
doing is specifically if I have issues with the link party system. If I get DC'd from a link party randomly, I just need to completely restart the game or I cannot join link parties again.
Just like this whole campaign feels like it's just built to be played by yourself, which is insane for this franchise, by the way.
And that's not the only multiplayer issues. The fact that it's really messy in the campaign, that you can't easily do it together, and that it has a weird system of, okay, one person starts it, and then they wait, and then the next person starts their mission, but then they stop, and then they join your mission, and like, then you get everybody in. That's not the only problem with multiplayer. There's also the insane terrible UI that makes it deeply unclear of what kind of party you're in and how you're supposed to invite people, how to get people into a squad and how to get people into a link party, and then how to invite them regularly after you add them to your friends list. Like the whole member list thing, it's just wildly unintuitive. It took us sitting there for like 2 hours, like just going, how does this work and how does that work, to figure out how to get everybody together.
And the thing is like once you have it figured out, it's fine. Like once you have once you did it the one time and you're all on each other's friends lists and you're all together, it's fine. It's great even. The problem is like until you're at that point though, it's not good.
It's also hard again for every new person you got to add.
Yes. It's if you like if you're like us and you have like 4 people who are a 4 stack. Now I will say what it seems like the best thing to fucking do if we're being real is like have one of your friend group go in and beat the campaign as fast as possible, and then everyone play through it at their own pace.
Yeah.
And then he just joins your game as people pop up and get to stuff.
Yeah.
Like that just seems like the most efficient way to do things. Like
Aaron,
just everybody
fair of the group. What has been your take now on your Monster Hunter experience? Given that I'm the furthest, Bronson is the middlest, and you're the littlest.
The littlest.
How's that gone for you?
Yeah, I will say I'm definitely going to be playing the rest of the single player because we after 2 hours of nearly like not aggressively, but like nearly shouting at each other to try like, no, this is how it works. Okay, so you do this, and then you do just trying to figure the game, just how to connect and play. Even after all of that, the last hour was y'all would jump in a mission. I'm still in a cutscene. I get through my cutscene. I get to where the fight is and accept, and I get a hit in maybe, and the monster's dead. I didn't experience the fight at all. I got the rewards, but that's not what I'm playing Monster Hunter for, you know? So that happened twice, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna experience the rest of this game myself because this blows. So
no, we definitely had to like my girlfriend and I came up with a system playing the campaign together. It's like, okay, whoever gets to the monster first, the other person joins them.
Right.
So that like that's kind of like what we had to do. Now we were only like a minute or 2 behind each other most of the time,
right?
So it was easier. But like, yeah, that's exactly what we had to do. It was just like the other person joins on.
And again, it's remedied in high rank. In high rank, for example, the very first mission you run into, you do have to hunt one monster and then capture him. But also, he spawns with 3 of himself. So, and they're all like pretty difficult. So if you have 4 people, that's actually like a reasonable taking on all 3 and getting the extra rewards for that.
God damn. Yeah. The end conclusion I came to is, yo dog, maybe one person can join you, but otherwise they want you to play it single player, not just like, it's not like a design choice in terms of like, this is the experience we want you to have. It's like, no man, we're gonna give you the option, but like this shit don't work, dude.
My advice is like, if you really want to play co-op with people, find people who don't give a shit about this story.
Yes,
just have them start the mission with you so they can start like and walk with you. But otherwise, just have them join you when you're getting to it.
Which, to be fair, a lot of Monster Hunter players don't care about the story. Like, their story has never been the driving point for Monster Hunter. But for new people coming in who don't know, you know?
However,
if
you are paying attention to the story, that is also terrible. I hate the story for this game. It was kind of endearing at first. I was like, oh, okay. And it just got worse and worse and like way more like, what do you mean? Like stuff going on that I'm just like, no, a reality could not exist where the facts of this setting are true. Like, you get people that have been living for 1,000 years in the most dangerous part of the world with monsters like teeming because of this phenomena making monsters appear all over the place. And they've been living with it for 1,000 years, and you walk up and they're like, "What's a weapon?"
So
What
okay,
is that?
so
You fight monsters?
all right. So here's what I was thinking on this is like
purpose.
I'm sitting here thinking like, you know, I don't know. There are people who are just like, we don't consider fighting these things. And if you're a normal person, you look at you look at Ray Dow, and it's like, not fucking fighting that. What are you talking about? And so the idea of these people, 4 people show up and they have like a hammer. It's like, oh yeah, good luck with Ray Dow. Have fun. We're gonna go. Except this is the same world. You assume the same physics and all this stuff exists in the same, you know, realm. And then, you know, the cutscene that I got to was a kid wanted to, just a kid, didn't have any weapons, but like because of the tragedy, he was like, I'm going to fist fight this giant dragon. So the will is there. The physics of this game function the way they do, but they didn't come to the same conclusion that our Monster Hunter people do.
That character in particular is my biggest problem with the whole game.
Yeah, that character in particular, when he wanted to go fight Ray Dow, I was literally yelling this. I was like, "Do it! Go do it! Go get barbecue! Go get barbecue!"
Yeah, no. Well, in particular, something that happens later that I will not be specific about to avoid spoilers. Okay, is that he comes to this philosophical position that he evidently finds very important, and it's really stupid. It's really, really stupid, and it makes this emotional conflict that is just stupid. It's just a thing he shouldn't think. He is wrong. He is on a not advanced level of the philosophical follow through of the considerations for the conditions, and it's like trying to state something large about nature and freedom and things like that. And I'm like, but this is like, this is a thing that I philosophically think is an unadvanced and poor approach to the considering of the situation. I think that it is like it's bad philosophy. You've put bad philosophy in your game in a way that pissed me off, and I feel like that's not going to be the common experience. This is not going to be the thing that people are hitching off, but this is a thing I care about. And like, God, it's horrible. I hate him so much. And when he's sitting there crying over, "No, you can't do this thing," and I'm like, I want to strangle you. I want to throw you off of a cliff.
Can we like be like, this is a kid, or is the game like endorsing this?
No, because they're seriously considering like the kid's position. The game is clearly framing it in such a way where like his sense of tragedy is something that is legitimate, and that he ends up having to accept it on account of the fact that it was truly the only way, and that this is definitely a tragedy, and everybody agrees that it's a tragedy, and the kid's the one who's the most broken up about it because he's a kid.
Right.
And it's not that. Fuck you.
Well, I'm very excited. Like, that kind of shit is right up my alley, so I'm very curious. I want to see what that is, and then we can have a conversation about it, because
I look forward to you encountering it.
Yes.
Chapter 3. That's where it's at.
All right. Well,
and
yeah.
So massive success despite all these issues, though, and it seems like it's not stopping, because I can tell you that, at least in the anecdotal experience, almost all of my friends on all of my friends lists are playing this goddamn game right now.
Right. Yeah. No, it's getting the sales, and the monster hunting part where you're actually fighting the monsters still seems super cool.
The monsters are so good.
Yep.
They're actually so cool.
Yeah.
They're such cool monsters. And it's like almost all new monsters. Like, through the whole campaign, it's like 3 old monsters. It's a ton of new monster designs. It's awesome, and the armor that comes out of them is fucking dope as hell.
It's good.
I gotta ask, is my boy Rathalos in there?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
All right, that's all I want to know.
Wait, asterisk.
Oh. Ooh.
All right.
All right. Well,
all right.
We're going to continue playing Monster Hunter. We'll probably have more Monster Hunter news to report on, as the weeks come. But we got 2 more bits here. Capcom has responded to performance issues on the PC as well. What is this response?
Just, hey, update. The response is, if you're experiencing any issues, try updating the graphics drivers, turning off compatibility mode, and then readjusting your settings.
Great.
Look, I know that they're not saying this, but this response feels like is it your fault? Is it your fault?
It kind of is.
Actually,
yeah.
It's running bad. If you don't think it's your fault, you could head to our support website and we'll double check if it's your fault.
I mean, I get it to a degree, but like this conversation about what's been going on with Monster Hunter Wilds in terms of PC performance has been a thing for a while. I don't know. I guess it could the response could be worse. I've heard worse, so I guess this is fine. If this has the same response a week from now, there better be some good evidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's that they definitely needed to say something on account of the fact that those mixed reviews, while I certainly have other problems and performance wasn't really on my mind, just because I happen to have a great computer, so I'm lucky enough to not deal with it.
Yep.
It's still definitely the biggest problem that people are putting these reviews in about. So I just needed to say something.
Yeah, I think that when you go and you look at like Steam reviews for the game, it's like almost every single one performance is what they're talking about. Performance or anti-cheat, like almost every single time.
Yeah.
Like that's all of them. Yeah, so all right. Well, and then the last
major complaint that people have about the game that we haven't covered yet.
Yes.
This last story, that is Monster Hunter Wilds charges for character edit vouchers again, and players are frustrated. So this is a continuation of their tradition from the previous 2 games, Rise and World, where you can't just change what your character looks like. You could change some stuff, but not everything. So if you want to change their voice or the way their body looks or what their gender is, you have to give them money, except for the first time. You can do it the first time for free, but otherwise you have to give them money, and there's no reason for it, so everybody is pissed about it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, I don't know, man.
How much is it?
You can edit hair $7, I believe.
Eesh,
the cheapest possible version of it is that if you buy the $10 Palico and character change bundle, because you also have to pay to change your cat, then you get 3 tickets to do the change for each, which makes it $5 for 3.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Yeah, you can edit your hair, eyebrow color, facial hair, makeup, and clothing from the appearance tent. It's anything else for extensive edits, including voice swapping, but I don't think that's true because I did not use a voucher and I had to change my voice.
Oh,
a buddy of
mine
had to use his voucher to change his voice today.
Okay.
Oh, well, I might have used mine on accident. Then I just swapped my voice. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
But all right.
I mean, it's free money. It's free money for them. Like, people don't actually care about this a lot. They did it in the past 2 games.
Right. Of all the things that are going on with this game, and then like I've been conditioned by Final Fantasy 14, and I'm sure other games, like, yeah.
I have been spoiled by World of Warcraft and similar games where it's go do it whenever the hell I want to.
Right.
So, yeah, all right. This is annoying. I'm not surprised. They did the same thing to Dragon's Dogma. They charge insane amounts for as much of a role of making amazing games and being not gross that Capcom has been. I will say the way they've handled some microtransactions has been obnoxious.
Right.
Because they're not needed, they're easy to avoid, but they're still like just annoying enough to where I'm like,
Yep.
The Devil May Cry. Could you like buy red
Is
orbs
it the
or
orb?
something?
Yeah, you can buy orbs if you wanted to. So you could start Devil May Cry fully updated if you were willing to
That's
spend money.
Hmm.
That's hilarious. Like, why would you get rid of the game's whole progression system?
You can, I guess, whatever.
I want to S rank every stage the very first time I do it.
And then that becomes like a 7-hour video game, if that.
Right. All right. Well, we're gonna keep reporting on Monster Hunter as news rolls out about that. But
yeah.
All right. What's next? I heard we have Pokemon's